Is that going to be good enough quality?
Yeah, dude. I think most people use their phones. I use like my laptop, but I've used my phone before.
Yeah, I got a MacBook and I'm looking into getting like microphones and like a camera for it.
Yeah, you can do the so I bought a mic, but I just use the mic on my laptop, but the big thing is having headphones. Headphones make a big difference, I think.
Yeah, I'm looking at the differences between having headphones with the microphone built in or just having a microphone.
Yeah.
Um, so but there's this thing called um, I can't remember the name of it. Um, but it's got like it comes with like all this stuff for podcasters. Like it's like a website that sells things for streaming, and they
Yeah.
got a pretty good deal. It's kind of expensive, but like it's top quality stuff. So it
Yeah.
comes with like a thing that you can like hook up multiple microphones and multiple cameras, and then you plug that into your MacBook.
Okay. It's kind of like a motherboard or something.
Yeah, it's like a little motherboard. Like it's really small, and then you can have it's like $1,500 for like two cameras, two microphones, two headphones, all the cables, all the wires, plus the motherboard, and that plugs into your MacBook.
Hell yeah. The cameras would be sweet. I'm glad Jeff started doing it. And then some of the other guys that was it the aging arborists, I enjoy watching their podcast and with the cameras.
Yeah, like so if I was yeah, because I would want to do if I'm like traveling to comps and then I'm gonna do like an episode, like I want a camera.
Yeah, it'd be dope. Yeah, having you
Yeah,
guys
because then
side
you
by
can have like a
side.
camera, like having the comp in the background, and then having us sitting at a table, and then the having the noise reduction from the microphone to cancel out the background noise.
Yeah. Well, I'll go ahead and introduce you, brother. So today we got Mr. David Loats on. And
How we doing?
I think I know a little bit. So ISA certified arborist, you're ISA certified tree climber, competition climber, a contract climbing arborist, and then most importantly, you're a father. Is there
Yeah,
anything?
thank you, man.
Hopefully we didn't miss anything there.
Yeah, that's about covers it. Little girl's the most important thing.
Yeah, dude, that's it. I talk to people and it's like being a father and a husband's pretty darn important to me. And of course, yeah, all the certifications and stuff, all that paper. People like seeing that too, but the kids
Yeah,
make it work.
just a little paperwork that says, "Hey, like I kind of know, but like
I'm still guessing here.
yeah."
Some days.
It's still an educated guess when we're thinking of that Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah, someone smarter than me came up with that.
Yeah.
I just roll with it. But dude, yeah, so I think I officially met you. We were over here talking, and it's funny. So one of the Tree Paloozas, we were there together. I'm sure I've been at other comps with you together, but last year at Georgia was the first time I got to hang out with you. Um,
I last year or was it Nam Charlotte?
yeah, Naomi Charlotte.
Weren't we like I don't know if we were in the same group. I think we were.
We might have been. My group was pretty wild. I don't even remember who all was in my group. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
hard. It's hard to think back then.
Yeah, and
I
Charlotte
remember. I
was.
remember us chatting. We like. I don't know if it was your group that was in line right before mine, or if we were in the same group and we were like in that staging area for the AR. That's I remember you sitting
Oh,
over there and like, and we were just like everyone was just kind of shooting the shit and
I
having a
probably
conversation.
yeah, I probably came over there to hang out because my AR was terrible. One of those. What did I do that day? So I did prelim masters, did throw line, and then they said that we were done for the day. And I went and was like putting my gear up, and Sean rolled up on his e-bike, and he's like, "Hey, dude, like your group's up for AR." And I was like, "Dude, I was told we were done for the day. Like my group's gone." And he's like, "No, no, like you got to go to AR." And I had a beer in my hand. I was like, "This is number 2 for me." He's like, "Well, finish it up." It's like, all right, dude. So I walked over there, all my gears in shambles, and then that thunderstorm rolled in. And was it is it Roger, um, Midwest dude?
I can't remember.
I think he was the head judge, and he was giving me the rundown, and I was writing all the information on my JSA, and it just started
Yeah,
pouring rain.
he had like the silver beard. He had like a really silverish gray beard.
Hmm. Good dude.
Yeah.
Because this storm rolled through, and I looked at him, and he was just like, "Man, you know the scenario. You got to roll." I was like,
Yeah, you
"Oh,
don't get to look over the scenario again. You don't get to contemplate.
yeah." And it was rough. It pouring rain. My JSA was destroyed. I couldn't see a thing, and somehow managed to get a line in there and got over to the victim and was started doing some first aid and getting a hard connect, and they called time. So, but it was fun.
I don't know. I don't want mine was interesting. I had did not even have a good rope angle from the tie-in, and like I just ran to him. Like
Dude,
I was so composed. Like I had great footwork and composure all the way out to him, and like Marty's like trailing behind me, and I'm like, I'm just gonna keep going. He's like, do what you got to do, bro. I'm like, okay, and I got
yeah.
there, and I had a plan to like when I saw him, I was like, oh, I can do this. And then for some reason, when I was there at the like after doing some ABCs and stuff, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna build what I wanted to do to bring him down. I like took apart what I built to bring him down up in the tree, and then tried to build it back together in
Oh,
tree.
yeah.
And then I'm just looking at myself in disbelief that I did that, and I just kind of said, you know what? I'm just gonna come down now. Like in my mind, I'm just like, I don't know why I'm doing this. Like, why am I still trying to do this?
I will say, as like rough as that, especially when I went, they were really generous with the rope angle. Because when I was
Yeah.
going out there, it was flat and pouring rain, and I was even testing them. I put my lanyard on, and I was looking at them, and they didn't say anything. So I took my lanyard off. I'd go out a little bit further, put it back on, looked at them. They weren't saying anything, so I just took my lanyard off and ran towards them. And I mean,
Uh,
like you're saying, those limbs were so big. Like I felt fine
Yeah.
doing it.
I mean, like, that's the beautiful thing about these the private events. It's like, if you're showing your composure and like you're not sitting there stumbling around while you're in the tree and your footwork and your work positioning is good, like they're gonna allow you to go push those limits because it's like it's not like that, the strict ISA format. It's like a
Yeah,
give and take. It's like, hey, we're gonna let you go do those things, but like we're also not gonna give you gracious points.
yeah,
If
exactly.
we feel you're unsafe, we're probably gonna say something. If you're not if you're not composing yourself well in the tree while you're taking a really rough rope angle, like probably a judge is gonna be like, hey man, like should really land it in now, please.
Yeah, yeah, you're showing a level of competency and skill, and it's nice when it's recognized. Because there's sometimes I watch and they're like, "Why aren't they calling out that rope angle?" And I'm like, "He looks awesome. Like that dude
Yeah.
looks."
Like he doesn't even he's not even thinking about it. He's just like walking out, man. He's like, what's wrong with that?
Yeah. So yeah, yeah, Nahum, and then Georgia. I don't know if I've competed with you at the Georgias, and then of course hanging out at Geezers.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
geezers this year. We're really looking forward to it. That's one of my favorite ones, especially since it's 20 minutes from my house.
it's one of the best. The things that I've loved is like at the end of the year, like Tree Palooza has been dope to like end the year on, and then it's really dope to start the year out at Geezers. I mean, a week of laid back training. Um, this year was kind of fun. I was doing the work climb, and Sean was kind of beating us up. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
We ran that work climb. I forget who was there with me, but Sean came up and he's like, "Hey, what y'all's turnover times look like between climbers?" Like, we don't know. And he's like, "All right, so we have one person on the ground and three people in the tree." And he's like, "We've got the perfect number to do this right now." I think I ran that work climb 3 times in a row. You ran it, came down, went back up, sat in the staging area, ran it, came back down, went back up.
Yeah.
And Sean was like, "All right, I like this turnover." And then I've heard that's
Yeah.
how he trains too. And I'm like, "Okay, like I guess I see it."
Yeah, that's the new method now. And I was training today with a few guys, and like, there's I was definitely the youngest climber there, and the one dude's like never competed before. He's gonna compete at geezers, and like he came down, like took off. Everyone's taking off harnesses. I'm like, no, get back up on that rope, girl. Let's go. We're training. Go up. Come on.
Yeah,
I'm trying to nudge them on, and they're looking at me. I'm like, nah, dude. Like, you get down, you get on that access line, you get back up, take your rest while the next person's climbing, and then you just cycle through. And I really loved when Evan, Jeff, and Cody were down because that's how they did it. Like, I think we did like 15 runs each because like I had a nice little like a small staging area with a small access line,
hmm,
and this is right before Florida, like the week before Florida comp, and like as soon as someone was off rope and landed in the landing zone from dismount, the next person was getting on rope, and we were just cycling through over and over and over, and it was like a full-on cardio workout doing it.
yeah. That's how we've started training. This year was pretty fun. I was training pretty hard before Georgia, and it was kind of nice. Like Georgia didn't go. It went well as far
I
as
think you placed what, like
fifth.
fifth
Yeah,
overall for prelims, if I
yeah.
remember.
I had a throw line mishap, but it made me feel good that I got finished up, and I think it was Fletcher. Fletcher was like, "Man, like you can tell, like you've really been training." And I was like, "Well, that's cool. Like that's enough right there for me." Like,
Thank you.
yeah, like recognition from the peers, and especially a dude like Fletcher was like, "Heck yeah, man." But we've been training like that. We've been training hard here lately, and that's the way we've been doing is just circuits. It's like
Yeah,
you just run the work climb over and over again, and then the next day we're like, let's go do some ARs, and it's pretty fun. I love it when we'll choose a scenario to start with, and then people are just mixing it up the entire time. Um, like normally we'll start off with like some heat exhaustion, and then one dude went up and he saw a wasp fly by him in the tree. He's like, "Oh, wasp, paper wasps! Like I'm having an allergic reaction. I just got stung." And I'm like, "All right, changing scenario. Like,
yeah,
let's react."
yeah.
So it's been
Go.
fun doing the circuits, and
Yeah, yeah. Today I had to work. I set a work climb up in a new tree, and then a couple days ago I didn't get to run it, so today we ran it and tested it out. Put it like a base time on it, and it's not an easy work climb. Like I think my first run on it was like just under 5 minutes, um, and it's pretty challenging. It's not like a typical. So that was nice because like I'm tired of like setting and getting training on these work climbs that I can finish in like 3 minutes or 2 minutes. It's like that's not like I want harder
yeah,
training trees so that when I'm getting into these, ISA comps, it's like, oh, the bell's only right there. Like this is epic.
yeah, yeah. That's kind of how I felt with Georgia. The way they set that climb up was like, man, you could take a swing and you can land if you get it right, like land right on top of that bell. That was pretty
Yeah,
sweet. And then go to Charlotte, and then I was like, oh, I got to work for these things.
yeah, yeah.
So were you born in? So you're down in Florida right now. You're in Orlando. Um, have you lived down there your whole life, or?
No, so actually, I was born and raised in Langhorne, Pennsylvania. Um, you know, and then that's like Bucks County was basically where I was raised, and then moved to Jersey, and then went back to Pennsylvania for college football. Um, and then went back to New Jersey, and then I moved to Florida in like 2010ish, somewhere around there, or shortly after the '08 recession, and then been down here ever since. Been bouncing around um, the state of Florida. Like sometimes I was living in like way south, like West Palm, and then back to Orlando.
Yeah,
So mostly here. This is where Journey, my daughter, was raised. and I don't really want to relocate her until after a certain year. We were actually talking about this the other on the drive to her volleyball tournament yesterday. That she's like, I want to move to the mountains. I'm like, you ready to move to the mountains? Like, I got all excited, and she's like, well, like, yeah, I want to live there, but like not till like I'm 18. Like, I want to wait till I'm done with school because like then I can just ditch my friends because I'm an adult. That's
Yeah.
what she said. I'm like, darn it. So you're trapping me here for 5 more years? She's like, yeah,
Yeah, because I mean, you've got good connects up in well, I know Asheville for sure.
yeah.
Ash Arb. So
Yeah, that would be yeah, that's a good spot. I know people like I've started tree work in New Jersey. So I know a few climbers out there and a few good companies. Um I've worked, let's see, Indiana. I've worked the West Coast. I got places in Montana I could go to. Um some areas in California I could transition over to. Georgia I could work anywhere almost that state, Alabama.
yeah,
So there's a lot of options, just but happy
it's
kid, happy life.
yeah, man, and it's fun to get out and about. But I don't know. We moved out to Colorado shortly, and it was a lot of fun, dude. Just spent a lot more time pruning and preservation, a lot more rope climbing, which is dope. Because before then, I just stayed in Spurs. Um,
Gotcha.
but then I missed the trees out here, though. Like the trees out here, like you go there, and it's funny. People are like the trees must be massive in Colorado, and I'm like, not really, not really.
Yeah.
Short, stubby. They're struggling. They're living in a harsh environment. Most of those trees aren't necessarily native. So it was kind of a blessing to come back here. I was like, oh, like I enjoy the trees again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's different atmosphere there for sure. And I mean the elevation is definitely higher, and it's got some harsher environments in certain areas in the Rockies,
Yeah,
and then like the South Colorado is like, kind of like deserty. So and
yeah.
flat. Um
Because I was
But
working
I
in.
mean, like, I would say like my favorite working area would be like kind of like North Carolina ish because it's got like those
Mhm.
mixture. It's got those sprawly oaks, but also like a mountainous region and also some like really tall trees as well. Not just like 60 foot with like a 100 to 200 foot canopy spread. It's like they get some big sprawly branches there, but also a great elevation. So it's like kind of like a cool mixture, but it's not like
Oh yeah, and always a
super
view.
rocky mountainous.
Always a view. That was the thing. I loved working in Colorado. I was in Boulder, so you always had a great view of the Flatirons, no matter like where you're at. And then going to work up in Asheville, helping Ash Arb, I'm like, dude, like everywhere I go, there's a view. Like,
Yeah.
this is awesome.
Yeah. No, Boulder, Colorado is beautiful. Have you ever been down to like the Durango area?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Oh, I had a ski trip and went snowboarding with my brother and my uncle for a while in Durango. That was epic. We got like, I think, like we got there and there wasn't any fresh pow pow. So, and then like the night, like we went to sleep and we woke up and it was like, it dumped like 8 feet of snow
yeah.
like overnight. I'm just like, we can't get out the front door, guys. So we fought our way to get, out the driveway and get to the mountain because they already started plowing and icing everything. It was like they were on top of it. They knew the storm was coming. And I remember getting to the top of that bolt of that dome and just was like, screw this. I'm taking off the snowboard and I'm just gonna jump. Like just jumping straight into the powder, like yard sailing it for fun.
Dude, that was the thing I was most impressed about with Colorado was how quickly they could react to storms and snowstorms and dude, yeah, you'd get through, you know, 2 foot of snow and you're like, I'm not worried about driving. Here in South Carolina, I'd be terrified. Like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
what was
you get like
funny,
a foot of snow in the Northeast and like the whole world shuts down. It's a blizzard.
yeah, get your milk and bread.
Yeah.
What was funny out there though was like thunderstorms. They could not drive in a thunderstorm. Like in a snowstorm, I'd be going real slow and they'd be flying by me. But in the thunderstorm, it was opposite. I'm like, oh, I know this. I can drive
Yeah,
in this. I'd be going
dude,
like
that's how.
70 and 80.
Bro, nobody knows how to drive in the rain down here in Florida. It's all tourists. So because like our like 3 o'clock showers are like small hurricanes. So
Mm,
like all of a sudden,
yeah.
like everyone's going 15 miles per hour, and like the speed limit's 60, and you're just like, Jesus.
And they got their hazards on.
Yeah, they got the hazards, and like everything's going crazy, and it's just like, does anyone not know what Rain-X is?
Yeah. Yeah. But dude,
So
so what got you? I think we talked about this before, but what did? So you said you got into tree work in New Jersey, and then you came down to Florida.
yeah, so think yeah, I was 18, and I was just like, I got redshirted freshman year of college, so like for football from an injury, and then I'm just like like not playing sports, and I was like, this isn't for me, and I just didn't really want to do it anymore. Came home, and then just needed find a job or something, just got to support something. And there was just this random job posting for Sage Land and Tree, and they needed some a laborer, and that's how it started. And I remember I was just the young, dumb, heavy lifting guy, just being, oh yeah, go pick up them logs, kid, and that's how it started. And next thing you know, I'm down here in Florida and looking for work again. Found tree work, and dude, it was a struggle all through it down here in the beginning. You know, everyone wants to laugh and see you do the dumb things,
Yeah,
but yeah. So I would say I've been in the industry for about 17 years. It was on and off for a little bit. I did do volunteer firework in the state of New Jersey with the side of the tree, and more passion was in the paramedic side, but couldn't transfer that stuff down here to Florida. So kind of like put me in this weird spot of like, all right, so I can't do that. And that means I have to go through all this education again and schooling. And
mm. So that's a bummer. So it wouldn't like cross over your credentials from up there to down here.
no,
Ah,
it doesn't cross over. So at least that's what I know of back then, so I'm pretty sure it's the same still now. I think I've talked about it with a few people that are actually still firefighters, and they said they like, yeah, it doesn't cross over from like state to state, I don't think.
mm. Yeah, that's interesting. You'd think, like I was kind of surprised when I was transferring my CDL from like South Carolina to Colorado. I was like, oh, this is pretty easy.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, like if you're, if you're like a licensed RN and stuff like that, but I think when it comes to just firefighter one and that, it's different. Maybe if you went through like EMT school or you're a licensed RN, all that transfers over,
Hmm.
but because down here it's completely different. Like you're not just a firefighter. Like where I was in New Jersey, um, paramedics, like we had no paramedics at our fire department. It was only firefighters. And so paramedics had their whole separate like ambulances, and them were completely separate from us.
Yeah,
So I think that's why it doesn't transfer always from state to state.
yeah, because there's a lot of people combining now. Like I know a lot of firefighters are responding to EMS calls, and then I was looking at possibly volunteering nearby in a county. My wife teaches in that county. I was like, maybe look at the volunteering at the fire department, but they do EMS, fire, and police. I was like, no, I'm
Yeah,
good on all that.
yeah, yeah. So and like there's just there's not enough. I don't have enough information to really go deep dive into that conversation because I just never really continued on with it after that.
Yeah, well, you found trees, so
Yeah, you know, doing tree work and bartending at night for just about most of all my 20s. So,
Dang. So when did you discover competitions?
um,
Did you find that on your own, or
2020 or 2019, I can't remember which Georgia. So I started. So I was like, basically, I was working for like all these different various small tree companies down here in Florida,
so
and
contracting?
no, like just being like a grunt employee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and there was, out of so many, it was really bad with a bunch, because they were just, the traditional old school tree climbers. Yeah, they just, spiked everything. The business owners didn't care about, promoting growth, and it's kind of like the Wild Wild West down here, dude, with it. And I would say that I got with this one guy. His name was Sam, competitive, and the business was Competitive Tree Service. And like, I'm just like, oh man, let's like, please, I don't need this. Hopefully this is a good spot. And I actually stayed with him for many years. And like, it was actually like, it was still like that old school stuff, but like, it was a better, like, it was a safe or work environment.
Hmm.
Mostly everyone was drug free.
I'm assuming
The
you're
owner was the
assuming you
owner.
were a dad at that point.
What?
I'm assuming you were a dad at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
changes
yeah,
things.
yeah. So, um, and that's when I started actually doing some more. Like I was mostly a bucket baby, and then I started getting into climbing shortly before that. And then I finally just met this business owner, Shelby McCullough, Forrest's older brother, and I think he's like, "Hey, you like a climber?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And I was looking for other avenues and trying to make more money. Ended up working with them and met Forrest. And it was so funny. I remember the first day. He's like, "Hey, you can climb spikeless, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah. I can get up in there and do some things." And um, he sees me setting up, and I'm literally about to like hand over hand pull myself up on an MRS system through a natural crotch, just doing hand over hand pull ups because I don't have a foot ascender yet. I know nothing about this stuff. I've seen it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so the only way I could get into a tree at that point was like a lane. Like I got off of the suicide tot line, and the only way I knew how to get up in a tree was like lean up a ladder, throw my rope over, pull myself up, or if I'm doing a removal and like the business owner doesn't care if I'm wearing spikes for pruning, I just spike up. And he just was like, "Hey, let me show you something." He slaps on like this, I'm looking at it like, what is this doohickey on my foot right now? And like, why are you giving me like a man brawl, bro? I'm like, he's just like, "Oh, it's gonna help. It's gonna help." And you just like walk up the rope. I'm like, walk up a fucking rope? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's like, "You got it." Pats me on the back and just walks away. I felt like the biggest fish out of water because I was like flopping my like feet around, like trying to go up a rope, MRS on a zigzag. And
Yeah.
I get up there and he's like, "All right, just unclip everything and go do your job." I'm like, well, I'm at the top of this, live oak, dying of exhaustion from just trying to get up it. Like it was more tiring to do that than just to pull my body up.
Yeah. Dude,
uh,
that's awesome though that like you ran into so you said it was
yeah, it was
Forrest's
like 29.
brother and then you
Well, Forrest worked for his brother at the time. And how I got into comps is I saw these things and on YouTube. But then, so the story of my first comp was I went to Georgia. Um, I think it was 2020 because Georgia I volunteered, and then 2020 Triapalooza I competed, and um, Forrest's stepson Nick, apparently Forrest was going to compete, so they call and they all want to go up. So I'm like, all right, let's all drive up. We drive through the night. They said they needed help for volunteers, and I was like, what can I do? They handed me a timer, and I just timed climbers work climb runs, and I was just like, this is amazing.
yeah.
How do I dance?
Yeah. So was that the tree palooza with the plane in the tree?
Yeah, yeah, that's the first time I ever competed. The plane in the tree.
That's epic.
I don't know. It's all been downhill since then.
That
No
would
comps ever match that. I'm waiting for a new one.
I dude, I was living in Colorado at that time and I heard about it and it's just like, dude, there's a plane in a tree down there?
Yeah,
That is epic, man. And then it
dude.
was funny. I think it was Jason Dudek, maybe. Um, I heard that he was at that comp, and then 3 months later, he actually did a plane rescue.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, there was an
Yeah,
actual plane rescue shortly after Triapalooza.
Ye-
Yeah. Was it? What was his name?
Jason Dudek, I believe. I was listening to a podcast that he was on, and he was talking about it. He was like, I say the success of that rescue was based on Treepalooza. And he was like, what was
That's
funny though was like people were telling me he was like, oh, like that's not real. Like you're never gonna do a plane rescue. And he was like, shortly after Tree Palooza, I was doing one. It's like,
I've seen some reports and some like news things on quite a few plane rescues. Not always in a tree. Like there was a plane rescue in like those big power lines not that long ago.
yeah,
Obviously they had ladder trucks and um, better access for that stuff to get in there. They weren't like sending up climbers. They were using ladder trucks and rappelling down to go get the victims. But um, yeah, that's not that uncommon from what I've seen for planes, especially single engine crop planes, or to be being rescued out of things that they crash into.
yeah, yeah.
So
And I mean, most,
it's not like it doesn't happen all the time, but it's not like oh, this is never gonna happen type deal.
yeah, I mean, most of the airports around here too. I mean, we've got a couple, especially like you're saying, like private. When you got private pilots out there and private airfields.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that happening a lot more. We've got so many private airfields out here, and I think there was a plane rescue not long ago in my area, but it was on a house. So I think fire took care of that one, but it could easily be a tree.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with just like to put a limitation on the possibilities of things that you would run into. I think it's stupid, because
Yeah, yeah, I think so
uh,
too.
yeah, like all right, so why like oh that's dumb, that's never gonna happen. You don't need to train for this. You're never gonna run into this scenario. I'm like, so that's limiting the possibilities, because shoot, if there's a name for it, then it's probably been done. So let's just practice and learn and train for it.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what going back to like those non-sanctioned. That's why I've been having so much fun at those comps, and especially the rescues and what they come up with. So yeah, the plane at Tree
Great.
Palooza.
And the
Um,
setup for that plane rescue alone, I can't really fully speak on it, but I've listened to Taylor Passetti and Markley and Reggie, and like their how they set that up. Andrew Bowles, and a lot Marty, they've told me some stories like that was crazy. The tarps alone, like so like the whole tree was like sequestered by these massive tarps, and you couldn't and like the I think the plane was like 20, 30 feet up in the air, so that was fully sequestered too. Like you walked into a ring around like and the whole tree was, well, at least a good large portion of the tree was totally sequestered. So you just like walk into this tarped area and then you look up and you're like, oh my god, there's a plane. There's a cockpit in the tree. Okay. Um and and they're like, start. Go get them.
yeah, was that a like just you, or did y'all have teams go into that rescue?
So there was the AR challenge, like for your prelims was just you, and there was a victim in the cockpit. Well, kind of like right behind the cockpit, and So that was just you. And then it was the Masters challenge was team aerial rescue. Um, I was with Jacob, nicknamed Pookie, and Thurner. And if I can't remember everyone else on the team, a bunch of great people. Oh, Dustin Goodman. Um, and I think there was seven.
Sounds like a hell of a team there.
Yeah, I think there were seven people that we had to rescue. I can't remember. It's been a while.
Oh man, are you like trolleying them out? What are
So
they?
like they had a Connex box. So like some people were up, like the plane crashed and it was in multiple pieces. So there was people up in the cockpit from the tree that you did on your prelim rescue, and then there was another part of the plane on top of a Connex box, and then there was a part of the plane on the ground, and then there was a victim underneath that was crushed by that part of the plane. So you had to build, there was multiple facets going on. Like, so there was a
Yeah,
climber up in the cockpit, there was a climber over here on the Connex box. Um, there was two or three people assisting each climber, and I took care. I remember taking care of the guy that was crushed by the part of the plane on the ground. Uh,
yeah.
Um, I can't remember everyone. I didn't get to listen in on every other victim scenarios because like there was a lot going on and everyone had their Ron had delegated everyone's task. They said ours looked like a little like we had a plan, then we changed our plan, like it was a little fiasco, but like we had the fastest time and everything was done pretty well. We took second.
Nice.
Um,
Yeah, I
the
mean that's
guy on
a
the ground, his leg was, he lost his right leg. So it was surprising how light those like the part of the plane was, because I was like building like something to like hoist the piece off, and we were like, and everyone's finally coming over to where I need, and I'm like getting assistance. Tourniquet was on, and we just like picked up the piece, like two of us. I was like, oh, okay. I'm thinking of like building like a progress capture and like an MA system and trying to hoist it up, making it look. And then like Ron comes over. It's like, what do we got to do? I'm like, oh, he's stuck underneath there. He's tourniquet, and he's like, oh, let's just pick this thing up.
That's pretty funny. I would have did what you did, like just completely overkilled it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
gotta make sure I
but
don't drop this thing on top of him again.
yeah, right. Oh, sorry, Fred. I didn't mean to cut off your other leg.
I know. Dude, that's epic. Like this year too, they did the I was talking with Ben was my inside man. I was hitting up my boy Ben Peart, like, hey, what's going on? What's the rescues look like? And I think they did a single and a team rescue. Just pretty
The
dope.
Lane, dude. All right, so everyone that's listening in, you got to reach out to Jim, Big Jim's Hitches, for Lane Anderson's and Fletcher Harper's and whoever team he was on. Everyone else, I can't remember the names that Lane told me. The apparently the funniest team AR silliness ever. It's White Hammond was in a bikini in a
Oh,
hammock.
I think I
At
saw
Palooza this year.
I think I saw the video. Somebody went live because it ended up being the last rescue of the day. It might have been Tiffany. I think Tiffany went live, and watching it, I'm like, what the hell is going on down there? This is ridiculous.
It's the way to end the year. It's like it's kind of a serious comp, but like it's also just like let's have some fun. And hang out with your boys. So, but yeah, dude, the stories I was being told, I'm just like, oh, why did I miss it?
Yeah, dude, I was on the fence about going all week, and you know, working right now, like I need to work, and it was a bummer. I was like, man, if I was, that's why I like competing. Like if I sign up to compete, I'm like, I'm going. But then it stinks as a volunteer sometimes. I'm like,
Bro, you just knocked me down a peg. I was supposed to compete. and I didn't
Yeah,
go.
it's hard, like that's why I'll try to compete each time because I'm like, I'm gonna find a way.
Yeah.
Like,
So
which
I,
even volunteering is important too, which makes I still
yeah,
feel bad that I'm like, sorry.
I really love volunteering, to be honest. Like, it's just watching like other climbers run the routes that like or the scenarios that I've like put in my head while I'm like, oh man, if we would have put a bell out here and did this and did that, and then seeing people run it and picking off learning like little tricks or methods from other climbers, and then just giving back to the community. Volunteering like really is a joy for me. um I just love seeing other people succeed too.
Yeah, yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. But we
Well,
got
my daughter,
Weezer's
yeah, I
coming
mean,
up, and
yeah,
we'll have
my
a
daughter's tournament had, they posted the schedule for the whole winter volleyball session. I'm looking through and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, I
yeah.
just paid the tickets for Triapalooza.
Man, now I'm like, I should have gone down. Like maybe, maybe I could have snuck in there somehow.
Yeah. I heard
I'll,
a bunch of people back. I heard a lot of people that originally supposed to compete, but I don't know. It's monkey down the chain type stuff.
yeah, yeah. You don't know unless you're there per se. Well, that's awesome, dude. So you've been training. I know you train a lot locally. You've got a lot of trees set up, and then I saw you're out running this morning.
Yeah. Yeah, it was yesterday morning. Yeah, I mean, we had you were in that conversation at Georgia, and there's been a lot of down, like ups and downs lately this year. Some years are better than others, but like the end of this year was just really like like October and November. Man, it was just dark, and there like I just you heard a little bit about it, and it was just weird. Like it just like this overwhelming fear of failure in not even in the treat, like not just like just being a father and just not able to provide as much, or just like the thinking, the negative self-talk just kind of like overwhelmed my thought process. Um and I couldn't reach out like my like any every day. I'm like, all right, let's just get out, let's just go talk to some people, and call your buddies, and you know let them know what's going on and do this, and then just nope. And make all these wonderful plans to get out of my head, and no matter what I tried every day, just sink back into I call it the foxhole. And then after Georgia, I kind of just came home after like we had a lot of great talks, between Lane, Eric, you, Castle, sitting around after the comp on what was it, Saturday night. And a few people just like unleashing some things that everyone was talking, like Lane was talking about some things, Eric was talking about some things, Tiffany and I were talking about some different things. She was expressing stuff. Castle was, and that just like really was like, okay, like you really aren't like, you know, you're not crazy. Well, you are crazy, but like you're not, this isn't uncommon. So
Yeah, it's
how do I get out of this? And
what stinks is like it's so easy to slip into, kind of like what you're saying, and then sometimes it can be really hard to kind of crawl yourself back out of there. And it's tough. I deal with a lot too, and a lot of it, unfortunately for me, like I'll get into some funks, and most of the time, it's like what you're saying. Like work starts slowing down. I feel like I'm failing as a father and a husband, and then it just starts going deeper and deeper, and then
it's
fitness starts
it's
lacking, nutrition starts lacking, and I
the
think that's
cycle. It just compiles.
yeah, I think that's what's make it so hard to get out. Now not only are you like mentally screwed, but physically you're just kind of messing yourself up.
I mean, yeah, because it's like, okay, so what? You get a couple rest days in or anything like that, but then it's like, and it's disgusting how the financial stress can make us as men and providers and fathers just dwindle into this dark hole because it's like, you got people counting on us, you have kids, you have a wife, we're in the same pond. Your pond is bigger, or you have you're the bigger fish in the same pond. I only have my daughter, but
Well,
when,
that makes it even more. That could
yeah,
even make it even more important there. Thankfully, if I start slowing down, my wife can be in there to help pick me back up. Well, she always picks me back up, and then helping with the kids. And then same thing
yeah.
when she goes down. And then if you're in it by yourself, though, that's I
I
think that's way
appreciate
more
I
difficult.
appreciate you those words. I was referring to, like, I do appreciate what you're saying there, and thank you. Well, I think I was trying to get was like how the financial stress and the burdens of that can, like, because it's just money,
Hmm.
it's just money, it's just material possessions,
Yeah, man.
it's that facade, but like,
It's not like we can take this stuff with us when we leave. So
right,
why is it
and
bothering me?
yeah, so but it's like that burden just of stress and of the finances, and just, and then next thing you know, you're thinking that I'm thinking that I'm like, just like, God damn, dude, she doesn't understand, like, I'm just failing her right now, like, what am I going to do next week? And but then, like, she's over there all like not realizing this, but is just happy you're there, just happy you're present, and just wants to hang out. And I don't know. I just kind of just told myself, like, the only way I can get out of this is if I just keep on doing positive actions. And I know for long term effects that physical fitness is one of the best dopamine releases, and for neuroplasticity and everything else that is. I'm trying to think of the word. It's those hormones.
I don't know, man, but I like it. I like what you're
Yeah.
saying here. Like,
So yeah, I just start running 5K. I'm running like 4Ks a couple times a week, and stuff like that, volunteering my time to clean up waterways and trash
dude,
and
yeah,
stuff.
I saw that. That was epic.
Yeah, it's pretty bad around here. It is pretty bad.
Dude, yeah, it's such a bummer too. Yeah, I just don't see how people can live in that kind of filth and forcing that upon everyone around them.
Okay, so sorry, I had to look it up because, like, I've studied this. So it's dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and the endorphins. Those are the main four. So, like, one thing that's wonderful is the cold plunges releases all four of them, but like exercise gives you like three of them, and the reward molecule, the stabilizing, the love hormone, and the natural highs. So,
That
and
that makes sense. You do cold plunges too, don't you? That was something I
yeah,
just
as
started
much as I want,
this year.
I would do them every morning if I could. It's not.
Ah, are you doing them in the morning?
I mean, like, morning, nights, doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
okay. I was gonna say,
It
dude,
does.
you're savage if you're doing like I've been doing it at night.
Well, it's really good if you do. If you can't do a full on cold plunge, for anyone that's listening out there, and also for yourself, Chris. If you can't do a 2 minute cold shower, will activate the same effects as a cold plunge, but just not to the extreme levels. Um, it resets the nervous system and rewires your brain's thinking pattern, and allows you to like, it kind of like lowers your heart rate, de-stresses you, kind of releases that anxiety, that fight or flight type mode, like, oh, I got all these things to do today, oh my god, there's all this to do. And
The big thing I found is yeah, kind of like what you're saying. Definitely pushes shitty thoughts out of my head. Um, Also, it just feels like I'm really conquering something. I'm like I'm destroying this. If I can stay in here longer than 2 minutes, I am absolutely crushing it. But dude, even like just getting older, um, new pains that I noticed throughout the day.
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot less cold plunging. I was having some issues with my hands and my wrist for a minute. And once I started cold plunging, that stuff went away, which is pretty epic. I don't know if it's the cold plunges, but I'm gonna say it is.
I mean, if you ever have the chance, read The Iceman
Yeah, let me write that
by
down.
Wim Hof. It's a book, and follow him. Follow, I think he's got like a YouTube channel and a website and all this stuff. His breathing techniques are amazing. Um, that's the only way I can actually get into a meditative state. I have like severe ADHD and all this other messed up brain stuff, and for me to be able to like sit still and kind of meditate, I need to do his 11-minute breathing routine prior. um
Yeah, I'll have to check
it's
that.
really epic.
Iceman.
You can really activate that top chakra. You can like see that orange kind of like glow after the third round of breathing, and when you're doing your hold. So like you do like 30 minutes of breaths, and then you exhale everything out, and then you hold. The last one, if you're like in the advanced, you can try to like without breathing and hold no air in your lungs for like a couple minutes, and it like really starts to push that shot those your chakras, and it gets
Dude,
pretty cool.
that explains why you're so fast, man. I was stoked. Didn't you get a scent? You placed an ascent at Georgia.
Yeah.
You're a big dude, man. I was like super stoked. I was like,
It's like the big guys can do it.
yeah, man.
Yeah, no, I think I did a 10-second at Georgia. Cody, of course, was like 8 seconds or something. Jesus.
Yeah, yeah, he was
Or like
quick.
nine.
And
Yeah, he
then
was pushing it.
I felt really good on mine. Everyone was like, "Oh, that was great." And then Josh Green went up behind me, and I watched his, and I was like, "No, that was good." I don't know how fast that was, but I think
That was
Josh
faster
just
than me.
crushed it. Yeah.
You,
So
you know
he
what's
looked,
funny is like I thought I was I'm getting to the bell. I'm like, dude, this is slow. Why am I not there yet? And next thing you know, they're like telling me I got third place or something. I was just like, what?
dude,
That
that's
was slow.
epic.
The
Well,
times that I think I'm going fast, I'm going slow. The times that I think I'm going slow, I'm actually getting, I'm doing fast runs. It's weird.
yeah. Well, I felt good on that one, and then went to Charlotte the next weekend, and they reactivated the guts ascent. They
What's that,
70-foot open ascent.
dude?
Charlotte used to do 80. Like I heard that they used to do an 80-foot ascent.
I that is like that's what I want to get to. Like I tried to do that at Georgia 2 years ago. Because I got there, I brought up all the open up scent stuff, and I was competing, but like I'm out of state, and they didn't have enough volunteers that year because international was just like a month later because they had to change it from like they had to change locations. I remember if I remember correctly, like they had the one park, but then they had to
Oh,
relocate.
to Savannah. Yeah, they were going to
Yeah,
be in Atlanta somewhere, and then.
Atlanta said no.
But I thought it was so funny. I heard they said no, and I was like, didn't they host the Olympics there before? Like, why is tree climbing?
I don't, dude.
Why are
Yeah.
they giving us a bad rap?
So like we didn't like so that changed so many people's travels plans and stuff. So they didn't have enough
Yeah.
volunteers. So I put together open scent, and I'm like, dude, we could put this at like 70 feet in this tree, dude. Like we totally go way higher. And the powers that be wouldn't let me go past like 50. And I'm just like, come
Mm.
on, man.
Yeah, well, they had the crane in Savannah. I was so stoked I got to go. That was my first internationals that I've been to. Was that one in Savannah. And I was wondering how internationals differed from like a chapter event. And then I got out there and I was like, yeah, these are definitely elevated. Like these are
Yeah.
definitely tougher. But I think they did the ascent on a crane. I think New
Florida
Jersey.
does it almost every year on the crane.
Mm,
It's nice. I mean, it's easier for setup. That's one.
way easier on setup.
But we also have a lot of issues with a lot of the trees. We can't, don't have the height for it.
Well, it's the same in Savannah. I mean, low, sprawly, awesome live oaks, but the tie-in point to the work climb, I think that was less than 50 foot.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that one was less. And then the tie-in point for rescue might have been 40 foot.
yeah.
I don't know. But no, that
It's
explains.
it's the southeast, man. I mean, there's some oaks around here that I've climbed for on customers' properties that are like, I got a 200-foot rope and I can't even base tie off of, a basal anchor that's not even at the top. So there's some big oaks down here. It's just most of them aren't at parks that we are allowed to compete at.
Yeah,
Um, and it's just that's the way it is. So
yeah. I mean,
work with what we got, and it's just the crane makes the open ascent much easier. So
it's like Georgia this year. That the Masters tree that wasn't even part of the park that we were at. That was actually the neighbor's property, and they had to get
yeah,
permission for us to go over there, which was
yeah, I
dope
didn't.
because that was a good tree.
Yeah, there wasn't. I'm glad they figured that out because like when if you walk to that property at the Park of Georgia, there wasn't great options for anything for a master's style tree.
Yeah. No,
There's a
no.
work climb, but like it wasn't that great. It wouldn't have been like a epic work climb, epic master's tree.
Mm-mm. No, nothing compared. None compared.
Well, that was a white oak, right?
No, that was a red. Yeah, I'm pretty
That was
sure
a
that was
red.
a red oak.
Yeah.
I was wanting to. I got over there Sunday morning. Was wanting to get a dry run in, and man, there's the they had to adjust a couple things. Yeah, the plumb bob had to get moved, and then even where they moved it to, I don't think anyone got points on plumb bob. And then that I think
There
there
was
was
so much traffic in that tree, though.
there's
You
a
get,
lot of
and,
traffic, and then it was really messy too. Like a couple guys went into dry run, and throw line was just a disaster, just because of how messy the ground was. So we're like, yo, we got to do even more cleanup. Like we got to clean
yeah.
this up even more.
Well, there was that one type of, ground brush that had those thorns. I can't remember what it's called. It's not firebush. It's like, and that was everywhere.
Yeah,
All over the ground.
you could tell they tried to do something. They went in there and brush hogged, but
Yeah.
it's just 4 inch,
Yeah.
3 inch things everywhere, little sprigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was fun though. I really I enjoyed that comp. Again, the work line was dope. The rescue was fun. I had a little fun with Castle with my rescue.
I'd have to disagree. Just to be the guy to disagree.
Oh, go ahead, man. Yeah,
I love Castle, so this is nothing. I didn't like the has nothing to do with my points. Like my points sucked. But I did not like the setup. I did not like how there was that pink tape right by.
oh yeah, the DQ
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. So that I totally would have just like you got the victim right underneath it, and like his lanyard is touching this pink tape basically, and like if you touch anything past this pink tape right where you're
More than
working, then
twice. Yeah.
more than twice. um I'm pretty sure I touched it more than twice. I didn't get DQ'd, but like I got like no points after all that. So
Yeah.
um
It was interesting. I'm glad I watched the internationals run on the way to Georgia. I was watching it on YouTube. It's terrible. Don't do that and drive. But but it was almost
yeah,
the same scenario. So like I was looking at it, I was like, this seems very similar to the internationals. Head injury, you need to mitigate movement. You need to bring him back in slow. It was hard to bring him straight down because that was my initial thing was I was like, oh, I'll redirect him and just drop him straight down. And I was like, how are we both going to fit through there? I was like, you know what?
yeah. I mean, like
I
there
can
like
I can walk him
what
back with two
I
steps.
there wasn't even like a place really to redirect, like because like there was like that little tiny gap where you could cinch something onto the stick that you're not allowed to touch. But
Yeah,
then I don't know. Somebody else might say something different than me. I wasn't a fan of of like that. that pink tape and then being right there, like right in your work area, and then if you even like just lightly touch it, it's a problem. So,
Yeah.
but hey, that's everything else on that setup was great. Like I
Oh
love the
yeah,
scenario.
I like the swing to get over to him, because that
Yeah,
was
yeah, no,
cool.
I that was a fun swing. I took that.
Yeah, you could swing and get right beside him. I had a fun one because that morning I was talking with Castle and just kind of picking his brain on rescues, and I was starting to talk about hard connects, and he was telling me he was like, yeah, like I was going to use the ART positioner for my hard connect because that was what I was running on my lanyard, and he was just like, no, like I don't like that. It's rated for a single man load. So if his system were to fail, then you're both going to be introduced into that system, which come to find
But
out, I did a little bit of
no,
research and actually a cinched ART positioner, you can run it that way. So let's say like your lanyard
yeah,
over
you
into a
can't. Yeah,
limb.
if you're hard connecting the victim, if you're hard connecting the person that you're rescuing to an ART positioner, which is attached to your bridge, that is completely acceptable.
Yeah, because I looked it up in the user manual. So like you could cinch it on a limb and be able to run it as a lanyard, as a
Yeah,
secondary. And I was like, all right, well, that's the same thing as if I was anchored off to him or him to me.
yeah. That doesn't mean that your both your weights is anchored off to the ART, only his weight, and then
Hmm.
your both your weights is then anchored off to your
Well,
system.
well, it was fun because that morning I was drinking coffee with Castle at like 5:30 in the morning, and he was like, "Don't do it. I don't want to see you do it." And I was like, "I'm doing it. Like, I'm doing the thing."
Don't do it. I'm doing it.
Yeah. So I did it, and of course he was like, "I told you not to do that, man." Like, and it was pretty fun. We were kind of going at it, like not go in a good way. And
Yeah, dude, no, Castle's amazing, dude. He's a class act, dude,
Well,
through and through.
it was pretty
So
fun too. Like an argument that I did not have, Mumford came up. Dude's so smart. He was like, "So your thing is it's not rated for two, but he was like his lanyard has two sonis in it, and that soni is rated. So he was like, let's say that the ART were to fail, all it's going to do is fell back into that soni, and where's it going to go after that? So it was
well,
like,
if the ART was to fail, it would. I mean, unless that one part comes off, which that's not going to happen. You're
yeah, you got
breaking
to
what, like,
bolt that thing on.
yeah. So I mean, anything's possible. Let's
Well,
not
it's
just throw.
funny too. It was like running off of the scenario, though his system's intact. It's not going to fail.
Yeah. So
If we're playing by a lot of what ifs, then
yeah, we could. How many what ifs do you want to throw out in the book today?
yeah. But it was fun. I enjoyed that moment to push Castle some, and then we got to talk about it, and it was a good time. And then I still can't speak highly enough about that work climb. Fletch just crushed that thing.
Yeah, that was a nice one.
Ah, man, I had so much fun.
Yeah,
I had so much fun. And then
except for that first branch.
yeah,
Yeah, we talked about it before we started recording.
yeah, that first one was, and then
Uh,
it,
you look at, like, if someone my weight looks at it the wrong way, it's like bong, it's like a spring.
yeah, just the swings after that though were just perfect, dude. If you could
Yeah.
tell that he was training in the Euros because it was like, all right, momentum. You take that swing, carry your momentum, and you go.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the whole work line was great.
The bell out
It
was
really was.
amazing.
Yeah,
The landing zone. It was like that was awesome.
perfect.
Yeah, dude. It was like I saw a lot of people go back down into that union, and I was like, I'm gonna just hit the descent bell. I'm gonna hit the horn, and I'm just gonna step off.
Yeah,
And it
I
landed you
did the
right on
same
top
thing.
of
Just
it.
landed right on the bullseye.
Yeah, because I was watching people go down into that union. They were going down to the tape and then taking the swing, and they were missing it. So I was like, all right,
That's
well,
probably the newer climbers.
yeah, I think so. But
Yeah,
I was like, I'm just gonna stay right here and go, and turned
it
out
was set up
awesome.
perfectly.
Yeah. So what do you kind of going into? You're finishing the year off. You got a podcast coming. I'm stoked.
I know. I've been talking about it with Lane and a few others. Like, dude, I think just something to, for killing some free time. And
Yeah, stay busy.
yeah, and I see a lot of podcasts, and it's like the focal point is solely tree climbing, and that's wonderful and all, but I think there's a lot more that we could talk about in our arborist community, and there's so many of us have so many other facets in our lives, like with rock climbing and caving and um a lot of these guys are big into skateboarding, and there's just
Yeah,
so many different aspects that we could discuss that are just really cool, and also with like mental health and um trying to in self-improvement and just how to grow as individuals and just telling our stories. So
yeah,
it's called the vertical perspective. I'm gonna thanks to Andrew Bowles. While I was, we were bouncing around on some names, and he just threw this one out to me, and I'm like, man, that's like, I like that
yeah. I
because
like
like
that a lot.
the like, take like, it's not just about the vertical perspective as like climbers, but like taking a look outside of yourself and looking down and seeing, the 360 view of the world around you, um and seeing the bigger picture, not being so stuck in your own self, in your own head. So I liked how that name kind of like could correlate with the topics that I would like to kind of divulge into. Also with little education for, tree climbers and stuff.
Yeah, no,
Looking forward to making a first episode
and it's
right around
cool.
geezers.
I just kind of like nerded and was like, I'm gonna look up the definition for vertical here, and it's pretty
Nerd
fun.
moment.
Yeah, in a direction or having an alignment such that the top is directly above the bottom. But then this is the next one that I like, involving different levels of hierarchy or progression. I kind of like that one, the progression. I don't know
Yeah.
about the hierarchy, but
Yeah.
with different levels of progression. No, that's going to be sweet, dude. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. My more than likely gonna have a co-host. Bowles was, he offered, and that man as an individual is just such a positive individual to be around, and makes people laugh. I mean, he is so witty, and I think the banter will be great. The give and take in the conversations. His personality and my personality, like, very, similar goals, but like different aspects of lifestyles. So
Hmm.
it should be really interesting.
Yeah, he's one I'd like to talk with some. I see that he. Yeah, you're talking about skateboarding. I was watching Chris Jocelyn's GMA part while I was waiting for you to come on, and oh my goodness, that part is so gnarly, dude.
Dude, I was
It's
watching
so
a
gnarly.
video Tony Hawk today, hitting the half pipe and then talking. He's like, "This is for all you old guys out there that are have faces like this and bodies like mine. I just did a bunch of stem cell injections, and I'm gonna go try to hit these half pipes."
Dude, that would be epic. That would be epic. That guy has single handedly. It's funny talking like skating and who's made the biggest difference. Definitely Tony Hawk.
Yeah,
Like Tony Hawk, the like the
I
Mount
remember
Rush.
watching X Games as a kid, seeing that guy. What was it, like the first 900?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And I mean that's how I discovered skateboarding was like I knew a little bit of about it, and then I think I was like in third grade or something, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater came out, and I was like, "This is amazing!"
dude, I
Like,
loved that game. I loved it.
so fun. But Andrew, it'd be dope. I'd like to talk with him some. Like I think he was on Flow for somebody. I felt like he told me Black Label, and I was like, "You look like you would skate for Black Label." Like, you look like that. Hopefully,
Yeah.
maybe Geezers. I'll catch up with them. Are you going to bring the? You were mentioning bringing the podcast to Geezers.
That would be, we were talking, that'd be give us enough time to kind of collaborate and really sit down and build a plan. And it's right around the corner, but it doesn't take too much to really just come up with like a simple game plan and put a little bit of money into it. Not a lot.
Yeah,
to just get it off the ground floor. And I think geezers would be a great starting point. There's just a lot of climbers from all over the world, and we could just have a couple conversations and build an episode off of that, or maybe launch a few episodes off of that. We'll see how it goes, and um, I also kind of want to do get Dr. Gilman when we're at his
yeah,
place and have a few recorded conversations with him. That would be just monumental because he's just he's a wizard with this stuff. So
yeah. And
he's like next level Gandalf.
like you're saying, the all the you know people, was it like 7 or 9 different countries, I think, last year, of people at geezers. So, and then the ages too is just crazy. You got people from 18 years old up to, I forget the oldest competitor, like 76 or something.
I think he was 76 last year. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just
Bert?
crazy to.
No. What's his name? What's his name?
Oh, dude, he's a South Carolina dude too, man. I think
Yeah.
he's in Anderson. He played the
Wonderful guy.
yeah, he played the clarinet, I think, at Alex Shigo's funeral, because he's played the clarinet for us a couple times at Geezers. I heard
Yeah.
that he played at like Alex Shigo's funeral, which is pretty wild.
Yeah.
But last year he got hurt on work climb, and then he was hanging out with us that night, throwing down.
Oh no.
Well, yeah, that work climb was pretty gnarly.
Dude, that limb walk, bro.
We were belaying people back. And
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is crazy. Like, I ran that work climb, and running out there. Normally, getting out there is not too big of an issue, but then I turn around and I'm looking back and I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, we're trying to put like we're putting like 60-year-old climbers through this. Like, what are we thinking?
Yeah, so we started belaying people back. It made me think of the limb walk at internationals. I worked work climb at internationals in Savannah, and yeah, that limb walk was pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
I'll have to see if I can find the video and send it to you. But yeah, long limb walk just like that. That
I mean,
when
I
you
love
got
those.
out, well, when you got out to the limb walk, you could honestly just step off the plumb bob and you were on the ground. Like it was like a 2 foot step and you were on the
Yeah.
ground, but you had to work your way back up. That limb
Yeah.
might have been like 15 or 20 foot in the tree, but it's just going at a downward angle the whole time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's the daily work here.
yeah, dude. But yeah, geezer should be fun. I'm stoked to like we were saying earlier, that's probably the favorite competition that I go to. It's just, I don't know, it's just a blast. It's just a blast. So
It is. It's a great week. I'm
yeah.
there though. I've been there, the whole week, from one weekend to the other each year
I'm
since
gonna
I've started.
try to do that this year. Last year I came in pretty early. I think I came in on Tuesday night. So I got to hang out Wednesday, Thursday. I'd like to try to come in like Monday morning or something this go.
I mean, if you don't make geezers, make the Florida comp.
I'm gonna make geezers for sure, and yeah, I definitely need to get down to Florida for that comp.
That's,
It'd be a
I mean,
good build up for
it's
Southern.
building back up again.
Yeah,
It's got a lot of support, a lot of volunteers, some definitely heavy hitters.
dude. Yeah, like we're talking Southern. Southern's just full of bangers. I mean, we got Contrell, Welch, Fletcher, Juan Lopez. Ben Peart's coming in, crushing it. Cormac Nagan. It's just like,
When's the registration?
I don't know yet. I heard February is our conference. Typically, they hold the TCC around the conference, but they haven't
It's
even
the
listed it yet.
Southern chapter. What is ISA Southern website?
Yeah, I say Southern. They don't have anything up yet. They have last year from
Yeah.
Knoxville in June. And I heard that the conference and the TCC was going to be separate this year. Typically, it's around each other or together. And I heard they're going to do it separate this year. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, not June, but if it is June, feel bad for people from not in the southern. This June's pretty hot. It's pretty miserable.
Sorry, I'm responding to a message.
No, no worries, dude. No worries. But
Holy
man,
shit, it's 10:30.
yeah, I won't.
Dude, this has been a great. I don't even. The time just flew by. When did we start talking?
Yeah, well, I've got a something I'm gonna end this on. I'm gonna read through a list, and I've done this before, and it's kind of fun.
Okay.
Just try not to think about it. We'll go through the list as fast as we can and see what we get. All right. So, your favorite tree,
Live Oak.
your favorite rope,
Yale Blue 32.
your favorite climbing device,
I'd have to go with the Vertex right now, man.
nice favorite saddle,
Petzl Sequoia SRT.
nice SRT or MRS,
Uh, SRT all day.
Steel or Husky.
Steel.
Okay. Competition. What's your favorite comp?
Florida chapter right now. ISA Florida chapter. It's my chapter, man. It's my home base.
Oh yeah. Favorite.
Favorite private. NAM.
Yeah. Favorite event in a comp.
Favorite event in comp.
Mm-hmm.
AR.
Oh yeah. I figured. Do you rather volunteer or are you going to compete?
I'd rather volunteer,
All right. All right. What do you think
but
about Belay speed climb?
can we get rid of it? Can we just get rid of it?
Oh, dude. Yeah. When they were posted the events for Charlotte this year, I kind of giggled. They were like, "Yeah, these are the events we're going to do," and Belade was on there, and that's what Gordy commented. He was like, "Can we get rid of Belade and just do another work climb?"
Can we just have
Yeah,
another work line, please?
yeah. Well, that's what I'm loving. Some of these, like my first comp that I went to was Natural State, and it was awesome because it was like it was the best events ever. It was like two work climbs, two rescues, throw line, ascent. I was like, dude, two work climbs and two rescues? Like, that's epic.
Oh god, yeah.
That's epic.
I would love. I mean, for IS, it would be the changeover would suck, but like they could just do another fun, different event. Like where they could put like like hula hoops up in the tree, and you gotta get the throw line through there, or like buckets. 5-gallon buckets. You gotta land it in that. Like anything other than belay speed climb.
It's funny. It's kind of grown on me some, but I've ran a couple blades that were like, this is rough. This
In
is
Kentucky, Logan set up like a 70-foot blade speed climb once.
mm,
Logan side, and it was. I mean, I don't know how tall it was. I don't think it was 70, but it was up there, and that was. And it was fun. But then they're like, it's so silly. Like, okay, we're doing a blade speed climb, but then there's like a rope so that because there's no other branches for you to like scaffolding branches to access the next part. So like they
yeah.
put this rope in there and you pull yourself up on the rope, and it's like, you know, I get it. We work with what you got. I just, I don't. Nobody does this anymore. Like
Yeah.
I remember, like back, like like oh, we got this tall pine tree to remove. Okay, get if somebody knew how to use the throw line, they would set a rope up, like a rigging rope up. You would just tie it to, your D link, and the machine would just pull you up, and it would just pull you up with a machine.
Yeah.
To make it easier on the climber. Like I've never seen anyone do like an actual like where people are tending your rope to get up into a tree at a job
No,
site.
I've never done that.
I've never seen that.
No.
So
Well, dude.
it's fun, but like we can totally get rid of this.
Yeah. Well, dude, I appreciate you, man, and Yeah, going on to the mental health thing, we'll have to set up a time. I know Lane was kind of interested. We'll have to try to set up a time to get a couple dudes together and you kind of let everyone know, dude, if you ever need anything, there's a lot of folks out there, you know,
Yeah,
willing to help, willing to listen. I mean, that's really a big thing, is just having someone there to listen.
it really is. And call your buddies. That's one thing I'm going to
Yeah,
say,
check on
and
your
then we'll end
people.
off like if you don't hear from someone that this is the biggest thing I say. If you say I love you, buddy, and I love you, brother, but then like you haven't heard from them from a little bit, reach out to them because they're probably in their head thinking that everything in the world's against them or something. Who knows what they're thinking? And a phone call might be the thing that pulls them out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear
So
that, buddy. Well, this is David Loats, man. How can they find you? So I know you're on the book.
Facebook, and that's it right now. I
What's
deleted Instagram.
soon to be vertical perspective.
Perspective on Spotify.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, looking forward to it. And I'm gonna stop it and
You have a
record in a
great night,
sec.
man.
And
Thanks for having me.
no, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna stop this and then I'll jump on and tell you bye. But appreciate you, brother.
All right.